Right now at 5, the community turns out to pay final respects to a Kansas police officer killed in the line of duty.
And we're dry for the moment. Showers and thunderstorms starting to build into the area. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, the fashion world mourns the loss of celebrated designer Giorgio Armani. We take a look back on his life and legacy.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
Hi, Chris Warner. It's finally Friday here in the 4 states, September the 5th. Happy Friday, everybody. Now, of course, we've got a soggy Friday out there,
right,
but the trade-off is this incredible weekend we have ahead of us. So, my wife was at Walmart yesterday, said it was very busy. I'm wondering how many folks are like, just rescheduling their Labor Day plans since our Labor Day weekend wasn't all that great, and this one's going to be fantastic. So maybe if you didn't get to do whatever it was you were planning, you could certainly do it tomorrow and or Sunday, but not today because it's going to be a bit damp. Let's start with a live look outside in downtown Pittsburgh, where again, for the time being, we are dry. However, showers, thunderstorms will be progressively moving into the area. Live look from the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line in Joplin, looking good as well. Here's the Skywatch Storm Tracker, and right now, as you can see, there's really not much into our area. Got a few stray showers up there trying to push into Coffee County, but that's really about it at this point. However, look off to the west of Wichita even, you can see we're getting these showers, and take a look at the fill-in that's taking place here in between Dodge City and Wichita on the map. We've got showers, we've got new thunderstorms developing out there, and they will continue to do so, continue to push off to the east, and eventually all of this will get together and start bringing us this, showers, thunderstorms throughout the day. Now again, we're not anticipating any severe weather today, but if you're working outdoors, I know for some folks working in the rain, not necessarily that bad. In some cases, it's actually enjoyable almost, but when thunder roars, head indoors. You do not want to be struck by lightning, and remember, the absence of severe weather does not remove the lightning threat, so you've still got to be cautious with the thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon and evening. I know we got Friday night football. That's something else we're going to have to watch as well. Now, like I said, we're not expecting severe weather, so playing football in the rain is not that big of a deal either. I know it makes the game a little tougher, but you still just want to watch out for thunderstorm chances. If there's lightning out there, you certainly don't want to be out on the field this evening. All right, here's a look at our temperatures right now ahead of all that. 63 Joplin, 60 in Pittsburgh. Now, depending on where you are as the rain enters, your highs may vary a bit today. Right now, Stockton, a little cooler, 58, along with Nevada. Most of us low to mid 60s, but you can see Bentonville, for example, up there at 69. So kids getting on the bus, scattered showers, thunderstorms, mid 60s, about 70 by lunchtime, and back down to the mid 60s when the bus comes back home. So we're going to have some early highs today. And as I mentioned, some of our communities, especially further west, may not make it much better than the mid 60s, simply because you're going to get on the rain earlier. But we're looking for at least majority of us to reach highs, early highs of about 70. Then temperatures start falling back through the low to mid 60s through the evening. Also breezy. North winds occasionally gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. So it's certainly going to be a chilly rain and some chilly thunderstorms out there for us. We'll talk about how long this rain lasts, how much cooler it's going to get tonight, and how that weekend is really shaping up here in just a few more minutes. Elise.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, the community turns out to pay their respects one final time for a fallen Kansas City, Kansas police officer. The funeral procession for Officer Hunter Simoncic took place yesterday in Parsons, Kansas. Residents and law enforcement officials lined Main Street as the procession made its way to and from St. Patrick's Catholic Church. Now, due to the anticipated turnout, city officials closed many of the roads in the area of the procession. Officer Simoncic was killed in the line of duty on August 26 during a police pursuit in Kansas City. Residents were encouraged to line the streets during the funeral procession with American flags and blue ribbons in remembrance of Officer Simoncic. We'll have more details on our website, KOAMNewsNow.com. Well, firefighters battle a major commercial fire at Ozark Feather Company north of Carthage. Thursday evening, the blaze on Kafer Road sent flames 30 feet above the trees and could be seen from miles away. 7 fire departments from the surrounding area responded to the scene. No injuries are reported to firefighters or employees. Well, severe storms swept through central Kansas on Wednesday, bringing hail sizes of golf balls and ping pong balls. The large hail damaged vehicles, smashed windows, and even blew part of the roof off the Elria Christian School in Marion County, forcing classes to be canceled for cleanup. About 5,000 people lost power in the Wichita area, but most service was restored by 10 p.m. Well, Italian fashion designer Giorgio Armani has died at the age of 91. Over 5 decades, he revolutionized fashion and built a multi-billion-dollar brand. Bradley Blackburn looks back on his remarkable life.
His name was synonymous with fashion, and for half a century, Giorgio Armani dressed the famous and the powerful, from titans of industry to global superstars.
He's a wonderful guy. He's a catch.
Born in a small Italian town in 1934, Armani thought of becoming a doctor before the world of fashion captured his imagination. In 1975, he founded his own design house and soon reinvented the suit. By removing inner linings, he shaped a new silhouette, the power suit that became a uniform for fashionable men and women in the 1980s.
I have a closet full still of those beautiful suits, those classic suits, and I still wear them.
Armani's eye and his savvy business moves built an enduring global brand. Red carpet appearances and countless fashion shows kept the clothes in the spotlight, and their creator, too.
The first time I wore Armani, I was maybe 16, and Destiny's Child, we thought we were just fabulous because we had on Armani.
In June, for the first time in the history of his house, Armani missed his fashion shows as he battled an undisclosed illness. He had been planning a celebration this month in Milan to mark 50 years at the height of fashion. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Now, Italian newspapers call Armani King Giorgio. Armani's brand employs more than 9,000 people and has over 600 stores worldwide. And let's look at our top news stories and weather coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Health Secretary RFK Jr. faces a combative Senate hearing over vaccine policies and CDC changes. Plus, deaths from a high blood pressure related disease are skyrocketing in the U.S. And we're tracking more rain chances. Chris has another look at your forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Time now, 5:07. We'll be right back. Well, topping Nation Watch, the White House is defending Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. this morning after yesterday's contentious hearing on Capitol Hill. In the hot seat, Kennedy faced criticism from both sides of the aisle over the recent changes to vaccine policy and a spat of firings and resignations at the CDC. CBS News' Jared Hill has more from New York.
He's a very good person. And he means very well.
President Trump is defending Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
If you look at what's going on in the world with health and look at this country also with regard to health, I like the fact that he's different.
After a combative Senate hearing.
You're making things up to scare people, and it's a lie.
With respect, I do not think I'm the one making things up.
Kennedy, who's questioned the efficacy of vaccines and elevated unsupported claims about their alleged harms, drew fire from even staunch Trump allies over recent cuts to vaccine research and access to the COVID-19 vaccine. Republican Senator Bill Cassidy is a physician.
I would say effectively we're denying people vaccine.
You're wrong.
It was Kennedy's first appearance on Capitol Hill since he pushed out former CDC Director Susan Menares last week, sparking a number of resignations.
These changes were absolutely necessary adjustments to restore the agency to its role as the world's gold standard public health agency.
In a Wall Street Journal op-ed yesterday, Menares wrote she was fired after refusing to, quote, pre-approve the recommendations of a vaccine advisory panel, newly filled with people who have publicly expressed anti-vaccine rhetoric.
I did not say that to her.
So she's lying today to the American people in the Wall Street Journal.
Yes, sir.
That CDC advisory panel is set to meet later this month to discuss vaccine recommendations. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Ahead of yesterday's hearing, CBS News released a new poll showing that more than 70% of Americans believe vaccines should be made more available. More than half of respondents said they disapprove of the way Secretary Kennedy has handled his job, though those results are heavily skewed based on political party. And still to come, Spirit Airlines eliminates service to 4 California cities as part of major route cuts. Plus, Chris has another look at your forecast. We'll be right back. Well, music's biggest stars are getting ready for this Sunday's MTV Video Music Awards. For the first time ever, the iconic show will air live on CBS in addition to MTV and Paramount Plus. Nick Zajovic has a preview of what to expect.
The stage is set for a night to remember. Hip-hop legend LL Cool J is hosting this year's MTV Video Music Awards. He says the show, airing on CBS for the first time, promises to bridge genres and generations.
You'll be hearing the new things that, kids have been listening to in the backseat on their headphones that you weren't exposed to, and the vice versa. The kids will be able to listen to the stuff that, mom and dad have been turning up, that they've been begging them to turn down.
With performances by Jelly Roll, Post Malone, Sabrina Carpenter, and more, the main stage will spotlight some of the biggest names in music.
I think the fans come away as the winners because they get exposed to all of the newest cool music and visuals and artists and all of the iconic music and iconic visuals and artists.
Lady Gaga leads the nominations with 12, including Artist of the Year. The night will also mark new milestones. Ricky Martin will be honored with the inaugural Latin Icon Award, and hip-hop icon Busta Rhymes will take home the first ever Rock the Bells Visionary Award.
To be able to give Busta Rhymes MTV VMA's Rock the Bells Visionary Award, that's really amazing. To be in the game so long that you're not only receiving awards, but now you're giving awards is an amazing feeling.
Another highly anticipated moment, Mariah Carey returning to the VMA stage for the first time in 20 years. The best-selling female artist of all time is not only picking up the prestigious Video Vanguard Award, she's on tap to wow viewers with a career-spanning medley of her biggest hits. Nick Zajovic, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Receiving the Video Vanguard Award will be a full-circle moment for Mariah Carey. She will be accepting the same award she presented to LL Cool J in 1997. Let's take it on over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we are looking good so far. Got a couple of isolated showers in our far northern counties, but that will change with more showers and storms today. Breakdown of what you need to know when we come back. Time now, 5:17. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. About to be 5:20 on this Friday morning, and it's going to be a wet Friday. Most of us still dry for the time being. We do have some of these showers up into our far northern counties around Burlington, south of Garnett, and into northern Greenwood County. Not much out there for us yet, but we have all of this activity that's going to start filling in out here. So it's everything roughly within this zone here that's going to start to kind of fill in for us and eventually bring us more scattered showers and storms. Now, again, I do want to emphasize that this is not expected to be severe weather by any means, but you can see we've got lightning already. There's only 3 strikes, but still, there's lightning. So that's the biggest thing today is while the storms aren't going to be severe, they still could be packing some lightning. The lightning's still dangerous. That's sometimes I think a bit of a misconception folks get is that, well, because we don't have severe weather, the storm can't be that bad. And yeah, the storm itself may not be bad, but that lightning's still dangerous out there. So it will continue. You see that outflow boundary that came off of the showers up here that kind of died out. This will all, again, I just want to drag it back. You can watch the loop here of it kind of filling in these new storms that are developing out here into southern Kansas and north central Oklahoma. All of it, of course, rolling roughly east, so it'll eventually begin to push into our area through the morning hours, and by lunchtime, we got scattered showers and storms. Now, it's still looking as though northeastern Oklahoma, you'll get rain today, but you may not, really, from the Kansas-Oklahoma border and then just draw that line straight across here along I-44. If you're south of that point, you're going to get showers, you're going to get storms. You just may not get as much as everyone up to the north, but you still, again, as I mentioned, we'll see some scattered showers and storms. It's just better chances on the north side of all of that. So that's the other thing, though. We've got Friday night football tonight. These showers and storms will very likely be ongoing through the evening and into the overnight hours. You can see even as games are wrapping up, still scattered showers and storms. So, again, playing football in the rain, probably not that bad. Keeps you a little cooler, but makes the field slick. And, of course, you still want to watch for lightning. If you start to get lightning with one of those thunderstorms, you don't want to be on the field when that takes place. Showers and storms will continue. I think by about 3 a.m. they're going to be done. I know Future Track's showing maybe a stray sprinkle or two tomorrow morning, but honestly, I think the rain, thunderstorm activity is going to come to a close at about 3 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then we'll begin clearing out, much like what we saw Thursday, where we'll start mostly cloudy, and then skies will clear as we head into the afternoon on Saturday, and we'll be the same way on Sunday. Some partly cloudy skies, but otherwise not a bad day at all. So our trade-off today with the rain is a great weekend ahead of us. We got scattered storms and showers again through the morning hours, mid-60s by 8, upper 60s by 11. Now out west, where the rain maybe starts a little earlier, clouds thicken up a little faster. This may be as warm as you get, is the upper 60s. I think most of us will push right about 70 degrees, but it will also be a very early high. And as the rain continues to spread across the area, temperatures will begin to fall back to the mid 60s by 4. Also breezy, north winds occasionally gusting to 25. Still breezy through the evening. And then overnight, the winds become calm. And take a look at those temperatures, too, back into the low 50s and some locations, maybe even the upper 40s. So a pretty chilly night out there. Not bad, though, again, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, even Wednesday is still not that bad. Average high is 86. So we're not doing too bad here, but by the end of next week, we are still looking to heat up a bit, just a little above average by 2 or 3 degrees, going into the upper 80s, getting close to 90. So enjoy the nice weather while it lasts, because it is going to heat up. Let's check your forecast. We're going to switch over now to Elise with Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, death from high blood pressure related kidney disease are skyrocketing in the U.S. Research being presented at an American Heart Association meeting finds in the last 25 years, hypertension-related kidney disease deaths rose nearly 50%. Researchers say the findings show high blood pressure causes more harm than just raising the risk of heart attacks and strokes, and that more screening and treatment is needed. And many people with high blood pressure aren't trying an effective method to lower their sodium intake. A UT Southwestern Medical Center study found less than 6% of people are using salt substitutes, which doctors say are a cheap and effective way to manage blood pressure. Researchers say awareness of the product is part of the problem. They also say the largest amounts of sodium we consume comes from processed and packaged foods and meals at restaurants. And when we eat meals could help us live longer. A study out of Turkey showed as people get older, they tend to eat breakfast later, and a later breakfast time was associated with depression, fatigue, and even higher rates of death. The impact was especially significant for older people. Researchers say this adds new meaning to the saying breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Let's look at Health Watch. We'll be right back. Right now at 5:30, the Spiva Center for the Arts unveils a special gallery honoring local veterans.
And we've got shower and thunderstorm chances increasing through the morning, although we are dry for now. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, an old dog track in southeast Kansas gets a new life as an event center.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:28. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is finally Friday as we call it sometimes. And it's not been a bad week, but I was talking with our producers and they agree that for some reason this week has just felt really long. It's like lasted a while.
Sure.
I mean, but not to everybody. I'm sure for some this week probably flew by, you know. It's,
4 days for some.
Yes, that's true. 4 days for some. And sometimes, though, that 4 days does make it feel even longer, though, because you've got a short week. Hopefully you had a good one, though, and hopefully you are prepared for the rain this morning. Got that umbrella ready to go and got the umbrella ready for the kids because it's on its way. We're going to start with a live look downtown Pittsburgh. Skies are mostly cloudy already, and they will continue to become even more cloudy as the morning progresses. MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin looking good as well this morning. Still dry, most of us dry. This activity here-ish, I believe, and this for sure. This here is not actually happening, but we do have some light showers into our northern counties. What we're waiting for is all of this activity out here. So in this zone, we'll start to get things beginning to fill in. We'll get a few more storms, showers developing, and you can see we've got three current lightning strikes and an additional 3 that are a little older out there. So like I said, we're not expecting severe weather by any means today, but the lightning is still dangerous on its own, and you've got to be cautious. I know we've got Friday night football tonight, and of course we also have the thunderstorms continuing through that time frame. So you want to make sure that when thunder roars, head indoors. That's the biggest thing. You don't want to be out on that field or in the stands if a thunderstorm does pop up, because that lightning is still dangerous. Outside of that, though, scattered showers and storms, slightly better chances from I-44 and the Kansas-Oklahoma state line points north. Down south, you'll still get some scattered showers and thunderstorms. You can see them here on Future Track. It's just there's slightly better chances across the northern half of our area as we head through the afternoon and evening hours today. In fact, I do believe these showers and storms will probably continue through about 2-3 a.m., but they'll be winding down at that point. So some of you, they may end a little earlier than that, but they'll begin winding down around that time. We're at 63 in Joplin, 61 in Pittsburgh right now, and across the area, temperatures, most of us in the low 60s. We do have some upper 60s down south. Bentonville a little warmer at 69. Stockton a little cooler, though, at 57 this morning. And some of you may not really do a lot of warming today. Looking about mid-60s as kids head out the door. Make sure they've got the umbrella. Scattered shower storms should be a little more widespread by 7 o'clock. By lunchtime, scattered shower storms about 70, and temperatures start falling this afternoon, mid-60s by the time bus takes them home. So that's the other side of this. Again, where the rain starts earlier, especially in our western counties, mid-upper 60s may be about as warm as you get. I think most of us should at least peak at 70, but it'll be an early high, and the temperatures will begin falling back through the 60s through the evening, and eventually into the 50s later this evening and into the overnight. Also a bit breezy. North winds occasionally gusting to 25 miles an hour. We'll talk more about these showers and storms this morning and how our weekend is shaping up here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, the Spiva Center for the Arts is unveiling a gallery. The gallery, titled The Freedom Endeavor, features portraits of local veterans holding pictures of themselves when they were serving in the military. Officials from the exhibit say the gallery is a way to remember history and those who fought for our freedom.
Each one of the tags that are next to each veteran has a QR code. Each veteran was also interviewed, and so you can listen to those interviews. So as you're walking around, you can actually hear the voices and the stories of these people and what they experienced.
The exhibit will be open to the public starting this evening. A reception will take place for the exhibit on the evening of September 10th. The Joplin Trail Coalition cut the ribbon on the first trail section to connect the Link Frisco and Ruby Jack Trail. The trails weave through the Cardinal Valley habitat where visitors can spot ponds, birds, and many other forms of wildlife. The old Camptown Greyhound Park is getting a new life. It's now owned by the Marietta family, who plan to turn the space into a major event venue. KOAM's Blake Gully has the exclusive first look inside. An old Greyhound racetrack in Frontenac is getting a new life, of course. Under the new ownership, the Camptown event space is being transformed on Highway 69. Management says the property will host concerts, festivals, farm shows, and even fireworks. Construction on Phase 1 is nearly complete, with plans to make the venue a one-stop shop for entertainment in Southeast Kansas.
Making sure we have all the amenities to accommodate any kind of event that we do have in here. We do have a full service bar that's being built right now. We also will have a full service kitchen. So everything will be in-house. Like I said, it'll be like your one-stop shop.
Now, management is encouraging the community to reach out with ideas for events they'd love to see, and for bookings inquiries, all those details can be found on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. The Neosho School District is launching a new partnership with Big Brothers Big Sisters aimed at mentoring a select group of students through high school and beyond. As KOAM's Lonnie Walton reports, Neosho School District says it will encourage personal growth and open opportunities.
My big brother, his name is Tom. We were matched actually as He chose to be matched with me and my brother Eric.
Mike Brown is the executive director of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Jasper and Newton counties. He says he was once matched with a big brother when he was 10 years old.
Here we are 42 years later. Tom lives in St. Louis, so most of our communication now is through text message or phone calls.
Brown's mentor changed his life for the good. Now he wants to spread the love to others. Paul Slag is the executive director of student services for the Neosho School District. He says Big Brothers Big Sisters will partner with students.
We'll have the opportunity to meet with these fantastic students to mentor them, talk about career preparation, talk about life preparation, and show them kind of their path towards success.
And not only that, they can receive credit.
This program, they have the opportunity to graduate not only with their high school diploma, but with an associate's degree from Crowder College at the same time.
It just creates that support system as they're beginning that transition out of high school.
Both Brown and Slag says there's some VIPs coming.
These mentors come from the community. They're community leaders in business and industry and education.
Key community members. We've got some great bank folks. We've got some folks from Lazy Boy.
Brown strongly believes in this program.
Information I know about Big Brothers Big Sisters isn't from some report that I read or some story I heard. I mean, as a former little brother, I've seen the value of having that mentor in my life and the change that it makes.
Reporting in Neosho, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
The program currently has 25 students, and Schlag says he hopes to add more in the coming years. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Indigo Potatoes recalls frozen vegetables in 6 states and D.C. due to possible listeria contamination. Plus, Powerball winnings reach record highs, and we ask people what they do with their money. We'll have the latest. Time now, 5:36. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. In Consumer Watch, Indigo Potatoes is recalling packages of its frozen peas and carrots and mixed vegetables because they could be contaminated with listeria. The recall affects 6 states and the District of Columbia. The FDA says no illnesses have been reported so far, and the agency is investigating. People who have purchased the recalled items are urged to return them to the place of purchase for a refund. Well, Spirit Airlines is cutting routes to nearly a dozen cities, including 4 cities in California, starting next month. The budget air carrier is also nixing plans to begin service in Macon, Georgia. The announcement came less than a week after Spirit announced that it was filing for bankruptcy for the second time this year due to rising operating costs and debt. In a statement to CBS News, Spirit says customers affected by the change in service will be notified of their options, including a refund. Well, $1.7 billion is the Powerball grand prize. KOAM's Ty Parks is at North Park Mall asking what folks would do if they won.
The Powerball winnings are as high as they've ever been. We ask people what they do if they won.
There's a lot of things. If I won the lottery, probably buy one of my dream cars or a house or take a good vacation to like Bahamas.
Give my husband a house, the boat he wants, and then between the two of us, we had 12 kids, 12 grandkids, put money aside for them.
The older I get, the less I need. There's other people that could use the money, they've had trouble, hard times, whatever. I just think, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what Jesus would do, so that's what you do.
All of these are great choices. KOAM sat down with an Arvest Bank senior client advisor about what someone can do to protect their new wealth.
Well, after you get done jumping for joy and telling whoever you want to tell, the first thing you want to do when you come into any kind of sudden windfall is you need to take some core advice. Our advice would be assemble a team of professionals. That would include an attorney. It would include a accounting professional. It would include a financial advisor so that you can begin to put together the right combination of advice to help you deal with that windfall.
Experts say it's best to put the money in an FDIC-insured account to protect it while you decide what to do next.
Those assets either to grow or how you want to disperse them, over what time period. It would also involve just setting those long-term goals for how the money is going to be used. Are you going to pass it on to the next generation? What kind of estate legacy do you want to leave behind? And those are things you want to consider because that's important because now all of a sudden you have something you never expected to have.
And one more point to consider about the Powerball.
I do have an interesting stat for you. Powerball's been around for 33 years. If you'd invested just $200 every month for the last 33 years, okay, you would have invested somewhere short of $80,000 in a growing mutual fund that could have grown to over $679,000. So you may want to consider, do I really want to play the Powerball? Or do I just want to be a good, steady investor over the next 33 years?
In Joplin, hopefully with a winning ticket, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
It can be fun to play the odds, but set a little back for your retirement if you do win. And that's a look at Consumer Watch. Let's take it on over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, live look downtown Pittsburgh. We are still, again, dry for most of us, but shower and thunderstorm chances increasing through the morning. We'll go over those details and have a look at your weekend forecast when we come back. Time now 5:42.
A new survey is driving home the importance of the school meal program. We have the details in today's Ag Day Minute.
I'm Clinton Griffiths with today's Ag Day Minute. California lawmakers have voted this week to allow the sale of E15. It was the last state to allow sales of it. Now, California passed the bill in a unanimous vote. The move is seen as a benefit for biofuels producers and corn farmers because it will allow expansion of the higher ethanol gas blend in the most populous U.S. state. Now, ethanol is often produced from corn. A new report says school meals are a big help to kids. No Kid Hungry, saying more than 1 in 4 families reported experiencing the loss of a job, and 4 out of 10 parents report a worsening financial situation in 2025, and 40% report having to make tough trade-offs, such as choosing between paying emergency bills and purchasing healthy food for their kids. Now, nearly half of the parents in the survey indicated their children may not have food to eat at school some days if the school meal program didn't exist. And how about this plant that makes its own fertilizer? It's a process called nitrogen fixation, and researchers at UC Davis used a gene editing tool called CRISPR to get wheat plants to produce more of a naturally occurring chemical that's already in the plant. So when that plant releases the excess chemical into the soil, it can help certain bacteria in the soil convert nitrogen from the air into a form nearby plants can then use to grow. For more Ag News, watch Ag Day weekdays in the station or get updates over at agweb.com.
All right, now here's Chris with a full look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got scattered showers in some of our northern counties right now, but eventually we all will get in on some shower and thunderstorm activity. So just a quick note here, what you see here and here is not real. And the way we know that is when I put this into the loop, you'll see it doesn't do anything. It doesn't go anywhere. It's just some bad radar returns there. But this up here in our far northern counties is real. So Garnett over toward Burlington and then west of Mound City. Not much to talk about at this time. But shower and thunderstorms are continuing to building coverage out to our west here. So west of the I-35 corridor is going to be this area that we watch for some additional development to take place and push off to the east, bringing us our showers and thunderstorms. So putting this back into motion, if you take a look here, see how this little cluster here, you just kind of actually see it even reform here and there. So that's not actually anything, and neither is that. But again, what's up to our north is, and of course everything else you see is. So we had a little outflow boundary. If you watch, you'll see it come off these showers as they kind of decay. Didn't do much, but I pushed off of there. But again, all all of this is continuing to fill in out to the west, and it will continue to group together into scattered showers and storms, and you can see some of the lightning with that as well. So like I said, we're not expecting severe weather today, but thunderstorms still produce lightning, and the lightning's still dangerous, so remember, when thunder roars, head indoors. By the lunch hour, most of us are going to be dealing with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Now, the better chances are going to be Kansas-Oklahoma border, and just continue that line east. If you're north of that, you have slightly better, you don't have slightly, you have better chances of scattered showers and storms. Down into northeastern Oklahoma and then south of I-44, you also will still see scattered showers and storms. You just may not see as many as those of us to the north as we head through the afternoon. Now, the other thing we've got is Friday night football across the area, and with that said, showers and thunderstorms will be continuing through that time. In fact, by game end, we still have some scattered showers, even a few rumbles of thunder. So again, same situation. You can play in the rain. You can watch the game in the rain. You've got your umbrella, but if there's lightning or you hear that thunder, you don't want to be out on the field. You don't want to be in the bleachers when that lightning starts to happen, because that's not a good safe place to be. You just want to make sure you got a safe place to go for any lightning. These shower storms continue, but they'll begin wrapping up. So toward 3 o'clock in the morning, they'll begin to come to an end from west to east. And I think some of these little showers that Future Track is showing, I really think we're just going to simply be dry by 5 o'clock Saturday morning. Saturday is going to play out a lot like Thursday did, where we'll have mostly cloudy skies to start, courtesy of the overnight rain, but then skies will clear as we head into the afternoon, looking at partly cloudy skies, and that trend continues into our Sunday as well. Scattered shower storms through the morning. Mid-60s by 8, upper 60s by 11. Now, for some of our western counties, let's say right around maybe the 75 corridor, right immediately around that zone, you may only make it this warm. The rain will work in a little earlier. It'll build in the clouds. It'll keep you cooler. But most of us, I think most of us, should at least peak at about 70 degrees. Now, that's the thing about our very broad coverage area too. Where there's a little less rain down south, you might make the low 70s, maybe 72, 73. But I think the majority of us are going to peak about 70. These are going to be early highs as well, because as the rain continues to build, temperatures are expected to fall through the afternoon. Back down mid-60s by 4, and gusty north winds pushing 20, 25 miles an hour. Still breezy through the evening hours out there as well. And then overnight, winds will become calm, and then we drop back in the low 50s, maybe even some upper 40s out there, if you can believe that. Again, scattered shower storms today. Then the weekend looks great, mid-upper 70s, even about 80. Average high is 86. We get close to that by Wednesday, so still not a bad weekend, not a bad start to the week. However, second half of next week still looks to heat up a bit. We could be 2 to 4 degrees above average, getting into the upper 80s to near 90, but otherwise still not that bad. Let's check your forecast. We're going to toss it over to Elise now with sports.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, throughout the offseason, one question for Pitt State came under center at quarterback, with the Gorillas replacing 3-year starter Chad Dodson. And in last week's season opener against Ferris State, that question was answered. Pitt State chose redshirt senior and Southern Utah transfer Jackson Berry as starter. Despite the loss against the top-ranked Bulldogs, the Gorillas liked what they saw from their QB and expect to see him grow each week as they enter a road matchup against Central Oklahoma. The Gorillas continue their gauntlet start to the season on the road this Saturday against Central Oklahoma. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. Missouri Southern is coming off their first win in a season opener since 2013 after defeating Midwestern State last week. Heading into week 2, the Lions face a unique challenge. Missouri Southern hits the road for the first time this season to take on the Bearcats of Southwest Baptist, a team the Lions haven't faced in over 10 years. But head coach Atiba Bradley is embracing the challenge of battling a squad with a lot of new faces and not much film.
We don't have a lot of film. We don't know a lot of their roster. It's a new staff. There's a lot of new players on the roster. And so it's not your typical game plan where, okay, hey, we got 4 games. This is what they do versus teams like ours. Quite honestly, we don't know. And so when you get in those situations, you really just have to rely on your ABCs, your fundamentals.
That's a look at sports. We'll be right back. Well, staff at the Milwaukee County Zoo used a front-end loader to help Ruth, a geriatric African elephant, back on her feet after she fell in her outdoor habitat Tuesday. The 40-year-old elephant lost her footing after an encounter with the herd mate and struggled to get up on her own due to her age. Thanks to the zoo team and a carefully guided lift, Ruth was able to stand and walk inside and is now recovering under close monitoring. Well, new research shows rising acid levels in seawater are dissolving sharks' teeth, threatening their ability to hunt and survive. Scientists say climate change is the driving force as more carbon dioxide enters the atmosphere. It makes ocean water more acidic, gradually wearing down shark teeth. Healthy sharks are essential for balanced ecosystems, so researchers are calling for urgent action to protect them and the oceans they call home.
And we'll eventually start to see more scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area as we head through the morning. We'll be mid-60s to start, upper 60s by 11. And again, some of you, especially out west, this may be about as warm as you get because the rain will start earlier from the west as it rolls east, and you may not get much warmer than the upper 60s. I think most of us should at least make 70, but it'll be an early high before temperatures begin to fall back through the afternoon, mid-60s by 4. Northeast Oklahoma, parts of southwest Missouri, northwest Arkansas may be a little warmer than 70 because you're not going to get as much rain as everyone to the north, but again, an average high of about 70. Also breezy, north winds occasionally gusting to 25. Still breezy through the evening hours. Temperatures continue to fall back. We'll eventually be into the upper 50s by 10. Winds will become calm overnight. Sour storms should start wrapping up from west to east, eventually coming to an end about, I'd say, 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. And chilly tonight, low 50s, maybe even some upper 40s for some of you out there, but that's all right because the weekend looks great. Mid 70s tomorrow, low 80s Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, mid 80s Wednesday, and then maybe a bit above average for the second half of the next work week. That's a check of your forecast. Got another hour of the KOAM Morning News up next.